You registered your first event. I'm going to come in and show you what you need to do to get your new event set up. So when you come here, you'll have a list of events. If you've had more than one event, you'll have more of a complete list. I'll just work from this event. It already has some data in it, but it gives me more to work with when I demonstrate how to enter in scores and whatnot. So if I go into this link here, it will automatically take me to the scores page. This is where you'll enter in the scores. Currently right now, if you went into this, it would be completely blank. So the first thing you want to do is register your participants. So we'll go to the menu button here, and then we'll go down to participants. Once here, you'll need to click create your participants. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new one. I'm going to do person 18. So here, I'm going to type person 18. And for gender, I'm going to do female. And your options are male or female, of course. For type, it's going to be either individual or a team event. This is an individual. For class, you'll have the class RX, intermediate, scaled, or master. So for this one, I'm going to do RX. And then you put what heat they're in. So I'm going to do heat 4. So anytime you see something in green, that means it has not been saved yet. Anytime you do anything within these grid views, you have to save it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom and click Save Changes. The same thing goes for if you delete a participant or anything. If you delete a participant or a WOD, you have to come down here. If you click Delete, it will prompt you, do you want to delete this? Say OK. But I still have to save the changes. If I don't save the changes and I try to leave this page, excuse me, it'll say, are you sure you want to leave this page? Are you sure you want to perform that action? All unsaved grid data will be lost. So I'm going to say stay on this page. I'm going to go back down here and save my changes. And then that will keep person 18 deleted. So once you have all your participants entered in, the next step would be to go enter in your WODs. Now these WODs will show up as they're labeled here on the actual competitor app that they'll use to check their scores. So you have two options. One, you don't have to put in the WOD description. You could just put in the basic information and just say coming soon here if you didn't want people to see it. Or you could input these WODs as you release them. So you can see here I have two WODs already in here. But let's say I want to make a new one, and I want to show you the different things that you can do with the WOD description. So I'm going to click New. The sort is basically how do you want them sorted. So the WOD 1, WOD 2 is just the name, but you could call this Cindy or Fran. But this is, 1 is indicating, okay, this is going to be the very first WOD you do. 2 is the second WOD, and so on. So I'm going to call this 3. WOD number, I'm going to show you that you can use a name. So I'm going to say Cindy. And then, is it a timed or is it reps and weight? So that you got to pick one of these. This determines how it's scored. So for this particular one, it's reps. And now I'm going to go to WOD description. So here we have some options that we can make this look pretty. So the text will look small here, but when it loads in the actual app, it'll be much bigger. So for instance, so here I could say Cindy. I could bold this. I could change the color of the font. I can make it red, and I can hit enter. I can say 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, and 15 air squats. Oh, apologize. And here you can change the individual colors. You could do anything you want to do here. We do have some other options where you can bold it or unbold it, so all these are Actually, what I want to do is bold Cindy, and then you can underline it, you can italicize it, or you can even strike it out, and you can kind of do whatever you want with it. So that's how you do that. Once you have that ready, all you do is hit update. It will automatically update, and so now you'll see that I have my number 3 Cindy WOD for reps. And just to keep everything consistent, I'm going to delete this real quick, and I'm going to go back up here. So that's basically how you do the WODs and set the WODs up. Now that you have participants and WODs created, you can go into the scoring, and you'll see it come up like this. Now currently I have scores in here. This is our test environment, and it's actually our dev site as well. So, but basically all you do is you're going to start at WOD 1, and you'll have heat number 1. And as you register them, that's how it will come up by the heats. So you can easily click on these to go to next heat and previous heat. And if you're done with this WOD, you can go to the next WOD, and you'll see up here it changes the WOD number. And then within that WOD, you can go to heat 2, 3, 4, and so on. As I described before, anytime you enter in anything, and it's green, you must save it before you can go on to anything else. If you go on, you'll get the same issues, so you want to make sure that you save it and make sure those get saved. So overall, it's very simple. We haven't had anybody had any problems yet. We have tested this new layout, new design. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback. You can come in here and alter anything you want. Keep in mind, you can always go back to the participants page, change up the heats, change the class. If they say, you know what, I'm not going to do RX, I'm going to do scale or intermediate, they can switch that. If they change their name, you can come in here and change their name, and just make sure you click save your changes. So that's it on the admin side. So this is for the admin link that you'll receive. The score side, now keep in mind this is built for a mobile device, so it looks a little big here. But basically when you come in, they'll come in and test event 1. So if you have a competition name, it will be labeled here. This is the one that I'm currently on now. So RX individual female. So if I go to RX individual male, it refreshes this page, and then I'll get person 1, 9, 7. You'll have their place, their total score. You can expand this to see what they got on each WOD, and you could do that multiple times across, and then you can also go back and collapse these. The next thing that you'll have here is you'll have WODs. So if I go into WODs, you can see that they're pretty laid out pretty nice. So basically it's sort number here is at WOD 1, and then the title, so this could be 1 and then Cindy, for instance. And here you have WOD 2 and so on. So as many WODs as you have, they'll automatically display here. And last but not least, the participants can go in and see what heat they're in. So heat 1, you got person 1 through 4, 2, 5 through 8, and so on. Okay, well that concludes the demonstration. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.